So All Black squad has been named for the Rugby Championship. It's a pretty strong looking squad with some very familiar faces in there. Some of the big names are back. But yeah, there's still a few kind of talking points about the squad. If you haven't seen the squad as yet, hookers, Coles, Taylor and Harris. Props, Franks, Tuangawhasi, Moody, Tuinukuafe and Perry. Locks, there's just the three of them, Sam Whitelock, Brodie Retallick and Scott Barrett. Loose forwards, Kieran Reid as captain. Sam Kane, Nadi Savia, Squire, Luke Whitelock, Frizzell and Himopo, who is listed as a Lucy. Halfbacks, Aaron Smith, Perenara and Tahuri Orangi, number 10, so first 5'8". Bowden Barrett, Damien McKenzie and Richie Moonga, those three are listed there. Midfield is Sonny Bill Williams, Ryan Crotty, Leonard Brown, Goodhue, and outside backs Ben Smith, Naholo, Rico Ioane, Milner Scudder and Geordie Barrett. I should also mention that there's two guys kind of listed in as cover. Initially, Coltman is in the squad for Dane Coles until he comes right, and Lomape is in the squad for Sonny Bill until he comes right from his injury. So obviously Coles is a pretty big talking point just because he hasn't been fit, he hasn't played rugby. It's solely a pick on experience and reputation. One might have thought he might have had a bit of game time to kind of get back into the swing of things, but nope, it's straight back into the top level. For him, just how quickly he comes back will be an interesting one to watch. You got to think Cody Taylor is probably going to be the starting option for much, if not all, of the tournament. Brodie Retallick hasn't had that much rugby, and they've got only the three locks there, although Himopo can kind of step in there if needed. In terms of the number 9s, Tahuri Orangi is an interesting pick, seeing as he couldn't really break that starting number 9 job with the Chiefs. And Moonga and McKenzie is always going to be an ongoing battle to see who backs up Bowden. It still seems like, to the All Black selectors anyway, that D-Mac is the man for the job, despite Richie's kind of endless set of good performances for the Crusaders. Nihi Monaskata is probably another one who's perhaps a touch lucky to be in the squad, not being in the best of form, not having played that many games for the Hurricanes this year. There's certainly a lot of good outside backs who did not make the squad. So, apart from these kind of shoo-ins, I mean, there's still a few guys who don't have many caps, like Himopo and Frizzell, I think have only just got the one. Luke Whitelock's got 5, although it's been over a few years. Tahuri Orangi is uncapped, so is Perry. Tuinukuafes, I think, only had 3. Goodhue, just the 1. So there is still a fair bit of kind of green players for the All Blacks, but I mean, to go with that, you've got guys like Kieran Reid, Sam Whitelock. These guys are above and almost at 100 games each. Owen Franks is almost at 100, so there's still a lot of experience to go with those youngsters kind of coming through. Guys who perhaps feel a bit unlucky, guys who were cut. Moli, Laulala and Hames weren't considered due to their injuries, but Tumanga Allen, from all I can see, has just been cut. Almoa, who's kind of seemed to be on that All Blacks fast track, has been injured, so he's not been considered. He doesn't quite get that Dane Coles treatment. I guess he's going to have to prove himself in the Mitre 10 Cup, perhaps bide his time for a while. There's no Franklin and no Fafita, so I guess Himopo and Frizzell are kind of the two guys in that area who have kind of taken those spots away. Loose forwards, Matt Todd has signed a short-term deal in Japan, so he wasn't going to be considered. Taufua is injured and Kaino is leaving, so those guys were never going to kind of be in that conversation. Number 9, like I said, man, it's a pretty hard deal. I would probably a bit salty if I was Brad Weber or Bryn Hall, perhaps to a lesser extent Mitch Drummond. These guys have all been playing really well at super level, and like I said about Tahuri Orangi, he's not even been able to get a gig in that number 9 jersey. So yeah, pretty harsh, but I guess it's the All Blacks building for the future, and they see some long-term potential in Tahuri Orangi rather than short-term. Augustine Pulu, not that he was probably in the conversation anyway, has signed a deal to go to Japan at the end of 2019, so it was never going to be on the cards. In terms of outside backs, there are a few. George Bridge, first name that comes to mind. The guy had a stellar Super Rugby season, can't beat Nihi Milner-Skudder out. I mean, Ben Smith, Rieko Ioane, Waisaki Naholo, all kind of shoo-ins. Geordie Barrett seems to be on that All Blacks fast track. So, yeah, it was only going to be that one spot, I think, that was really up for grabs, and it's gone to Nihi. Matt Duffy's probably been out of the All Blacks conversation since he last played for them, but yeah, he might be thinking he's in just as good form as Nihi Milner-Skudder. Havili also and Alamalo, again, guys who realistically are probably in better form, but probably don't have that same reputation that Nihi's got. So, be interesting to see how many more lives Nihi gets in the All Black jersey, because yeah, he's going to have to impress with all these guys chasing on his heels. Obviously, Julian Savia instead of Tamani Valu, leaving New Zealand Rugby, so not on the cards. Israel Daggs, another one with a short-term contract in Japan, so was never going to be considered. But yeah, that's the All Black team. Like I said, it looks pretty strong. There's quite a few veterans to go along with these kind of fresh faces, but yeah, I would imagine it's going to be the full set of experienced hands to go forward in that first test against Australia. But you guys let me know your thoughts on the squad, and I'll yeah, talk to you again soon. See you later.